and challenged more than any other time in my life over the last 6 months. It has really been a very uncomfortable season for me. But you know what? I feel like if you're not getting uncomfortable, you're not really living your greatest life. And so many people, we're so comfortable that nothing is compelling us to change or to adjust or to pivot or to shift or to make any type of corrections in our lives. And so, while I admit that I have not liked the discomfort, I do like the development that is happening in my life. I really want you to catch what I just said. I'm a person, I would prefer everything to be comfortable. I would prefer it to be easy. But I have embraced the discomfort because I see a level of development that's taking place in me that is different than any other season in my life. And not only do I see it, but the people around me see the changes and the transformation taking place as well. And so a lot of times we need to stop crying about the circumstances or what's happening in our lives, and we need to cooperate with that season so that we can get out of it what we need to get out of it. This is what I know. Any season that I fail to cooperate with will be a constrained season in my life. Write that down. Any season that I refuse to cooperate with will become a constrained season in my life. And so you have to make a very conscious decision that you are going to embrace the discomfort. You're going to embrace the things that don't necessarily feel good. You're going to embrace the adversity, and that you're going to use all of these things as tools to not only move you forward, but to help you to evolve and to become a much greater version of yourself. If you really want to upgrade your life, it begins with getting uncomfortable. And so many of us, we have been comfortable for so long. And I always tell people that comfort is a place where potential goes to die and dreams are aborted. Write that down. Comfort is a place where potential goes to die and dreams are aborted. And so, do you want to be comfortable or do you want to realize your potential? Do you want to be comfortable or do you want to see change and transformation in your life? You have to determine what you want most. And I believe that the thing that we should all want most is growth in our lives. Who wants to be stuck or stagnant or in a holding pattern in your life? You want to be able to move forward. And in order to do that, you're going to have to embrace uncomfortable seasons. Honestly, we are all creatures of habit and we don't like change. We would much rather everything stay the same in our lives. However, comfort zones are places where nothing grows and nothing matures. Write that down. Comfort zones are places where nothing grows and nothing matures. So it may feel good, but at the end of the day, if there's no growth, no development, and no maturity happening, then you're not really doing anything with your life. And the sad reality is that for most people, every year is a repeat of the year before. We get excited at the beginning of the year. We say we're going to do all of these things. By mid January, we've given up on our dreams. We've gone back to the same bad habits. December, we get excited. January, we make new commitments that we don't follow through with. And it just becomes a cycle in our lives. And we're always saying, this is going to be my year. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, but we never do it. And so, what I want to challenge you around today is to get out of what is so comfortable and so convenient for you and to move toward the discomfort so that real growth and change and maturity can take place in your life. If you really want to live at the next level, you must be willing to leave your comfort zone. I can't say that enough. If you really want to change your life, you got to be willing to leave your comfort zone. So if you look back and you do an audit of the last 6 months and you don't like how the last 6 months of your life have looked and the results and the outcomes that you produce, then what are you going to do differently? Or are you going to institute the same bad habits, the same patterns, the same cycles, the same people that are going nowhere, the same weekend plans that leave you feeling void, empty, and unfulfilled. What are you going to do differently that's going to make the difference in your life? What different thing will change the trajectory and the direction of your life? I believe that that's one of the questions that should always be at the forefront of our minds, because as you've heard me say, if you do the same, you get the same. If you do different, you get different. And a lot of times we want different, but we keep giving same and expecting a different outcome, which is insanity. And so you have to make a decision that you are going to embrace the discomfort and that you are ready to really see change happen in your life. Comfort is the enemy of change. And furthermore, comfort is the enemy of evolution. And I believe that humanity is in a constant state of evolution. You should always be evolving. Your perception of yourself should be evolving. Your paradigm should be evolving. Your vision should be evolving. Your relationships should be evolving. Your self-concept should be evolving. Your self-worth, your identity, your values, your value-added proposition, your significance should be evolved. Everything about your life should be evolving. It should not be the same. It should not be a repeat of the last 5 years and the last 10 years, because that is a prophetic indicator that nothing is changing and growing in your life. And a life without growth is a life without meaning. Write that down. A life without growth is a life without meaning. And there are so many people that are living a meaningless existence. I'm not talking about just not having a vision and mission, which that will definitely produce a meaningless existence, but I'm talking about a life that has no change, where everything is exactly the way it's always been, and there's nothing that is progressing or moving or unfolding in your life. How many years are you going to talk about a transformation that you will never embrace? Now, I know this is going to get a bit heavy, and some of you may check out of this conversation, and it's okay. I still love you. But how many years are you going to talk about a transformation that you'll never embrace? I talk to so many people, and I walk away and I say, bless their heart, because I know that I'm going to look back 6 months later, a year later, and they're going to be in the same place, because it's just words. I don't see the volition. I don't see the passion. I don't see the zeal for that thing to become a reality in their lives. It's just hype and words. And when that euphoric emotional feeling wears away, they're going to go back to the same things that they've been doing. And so, people always ask me this question, like, what motivates you? And I always tell them, I'm motivated by vision, of course, but I told them I don't really live my life for motivation. Motivation goes away. So what happens on the days when Jamel is not motivated? Well, that's the days when discipline kicks in. And because I'm such a disciplined person, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, even if I don't feel like it, even if it's not favorable, even if I'd rather be doing something else. I have become so disciplined that motivation is not necessary. It's not important, because whether I'm motivated or not, I'm going to execute and do A, B, C, D. And so I feel like I'm an anomaly, because I try to tell this to people and I see them keep looking for more and more motivation, And I'm like, you're going to have to look for motivation 24 hours a day if that's what you need to keep you going. You've got to learn how to motivate yourself and discipline yourself so that you can see certain goals and certain things realized in your life. And how much time are you going to waste rehashing the past when a new life is calling you? I want you to really think about that. How much time do people waste rehashing the past when a new life is calling you? I know that this is something that I've had to work through in my own life as seasons have changed, and as seasons change, you change. The relational constellation of your life changes. What's important to you changes. The people that you want to spend time with changes. Everything begins to change. And it's like, are we going to just keep living in the past, or are you going to really go after the life you were born for? Are you going to pursue your highest and best potential and what's possible for your life? Because we talk about it, but our decisions continue to reflect an old version of ourselves, which lets us know that something has interrupted the growth and development process in our lives. Many people look at my life today and they admire the work that I'm doing around the world. However, they don't admire it enough to take action in the direction of their